Have I ever told you all the very first time I ever heard Operation Mindcrime from start to finish? We were on the Iron Maiden tour. It was 2006. We were in Amsterdam. We had a day off before the Amsterdam show. We were in Amsterdam. So naturally, a bunch of American 20-year-olds were like, we're in Amsterdam, so let's freaking party. Now, note, if marijuana is not legal in your state or country, do not listen any further to this video. If it is legal, though, here's the rest of the story. So we were there. It was the band, some of our crew. My dad was there, too. And we went to some of the hash bars there. And I don't know if my dad wants me telling this story. Let's just say he was there. And well, we could do a part 2 if he's okay with any of that stuff. But so the band is there. All four of us are like, you know what? Day off. We're on tour with Iron Maiden. Let's have a good time. So I don't remember if any of us smoked, but we did get space cakes. And we all had some. We're like, okay, cool. Let's see what happens. And then all started kicking in. And all four of us were like, I think I got to go. And so it was like Detroit Rock City. All four of us split up. We're all into our hotel rooms. Paulo told me, our manager Justin was there too. Paulo told me that, I don't know if he wants me to tell his part of the story. Paulo told me like he started kicking in and he didn't want to feel it anymore. So he made himself throw up, but he like puked into his sink and he like filled his sink up and like kept puking. But obviously when you're stoned, that doesn't do anything. You just are puking at that point and you're puking high. And space cakes are way stronger than smoking. And it takes hours. Like it'll kick in like an hour or two later and last for like 8 hours long. So he said he like went to our manager's room and like knocked on the door to try to get him to help. And Justin like, was it Corey? Sorry, this story's kind of busted. I haven't told the story in a long time. Paulo either walked to Justin's or he checked Justin's room first. Justin like looked at the peephole and didn't let him in. Corey like opened it but had the chain up, and then Paulo started talking to him. Corey just closed the door and like left him and stayed in his room. I never heard Corey's end of the story. Justin said he kept walking around the room, and every time he'd make a lap around his room, he'd make a tick mark on like the wall with a pencil. And he said the next morning he had like all these tick marks. I don't remember what happened to Travis. Paulo was puking. Corey didn't let Paulo in. Justin was doing the circles. My dad was a champ. We'll just put it that way. It didn't affect him. I stripped off all my clothes, laid on the floor, turned on Operation Mindcrime, and I went on a journey. Like I saw the notes. I heard the notes. I felt the music. I saw the movie. And I love that record. I've loved that record so much ever since then. The next morning, we all woke up for the show. We're all badly hungover from the space cakes. My dad is like awake. He's like, hey guys, what's going on? Let's have a good day. And all of us like, and I remember I wanted to learn Dutch for that show. And I had someone explain to me. I was like, what? Like, how do you say how are you? I was like, what? And so I kept trying to say that on stage. I was still like kind of hungover, and I said it. I tried to say huchated, hura avond huchated, but it was so messed up. Like it didn't sound like anything, and the whole crowd's just like, and I yelled it a couple times, and they didn't react to it. So that show, if you were at the Amsterdam show for Trivium opening up for Iron Maiden, and we weren't very good, it's because of your free living lifestyle that we decided to take part in. End of story.